Hey, good morning, guys. How are you folks doing today? We hope that you guys are well. If you got a cup of something here, it's a bit cold now. Started about an hour ago. It's a bit cold, but in your utensil for drinking, we hope that you guys got something nice. What's in the menu for breakfast this morning? We got a lengthy weekend coming up at our end. Monday is March the 23rd. Am I right? Am I right? Monday is the 23rd. Monday is March. Good morning to all of you. And we're watching it too at our end. Looking forward to a long weekend, And a good weekend for me is a weekend doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just sitting around like a couch potato, watch a show, a series, catch up on some reading, drink some coffee, more coffee, sleep, wake up, do more of the same. That is a good, that's a restful weekend for me. March is coming up on the 23rd. It's Monday. If I check the calendar right, Rita, Bernice, Everett, Ingrid, anybody see Beatrice? I've been trying to connect with Beatrice. I wasn't too successful. Beatrice Selby. Anybody see Beatrice? Orvington, Beverly, good to see you. Don Davis, good to see you as well. All the Dons are on this morning. Martin, good to see Martin. Leonard Finance, Leonard is on the live too. Then we got Unchained, Emancipated, and like that. You're free. Good to have you, Martin, Siobhan, Irwin, Don. Wayne is here. Good to have Wayne, Debbie as well, and all the other beautiful folks who are joining us. There's just a couple of us around this breakfast table. Yep, as we get into, as Thursday, the 19th day of February unfolds before us. As it unfolds, hope you guys are good. How are you folks doing? I'm still trying to grapple with the impending closure of Sabbath News, and we have had the privilege, perhaps, to piggyback on some of their work, and Sabbath News has done good work with this. In these 40 years, they've done some good work. I salute them. Salute Sabbath News. All the journalists who passed through their doors over the years. Some have gone on to other media entities locally, some internationally as well. And the journalism, just exceptional over those 40 years. And congrats to them. Congrats to them. We're going to miss Sabbath News. We're going to miss Sabbath News, right? But Irwin, Don, and Avril, and Reggie, it just underscores how everything is for time. One day the sun will set in our time as well. And as sure as night turned to day, one day the sun will set in our time too. Everything is for time under the sun. If you all follow the ebbs and flows of the tide and world events, local events as well, if you all follow those tides, you all will see. People come and people go. It's what we do while we're here. Thank you, Sabbath News. While you were here, you did a lot. Did a lot. All right. Everett said, I won't get in touch. Well, it's one number. Well, it's not what it's 627-6963. Right? I prefer that one. 627-6962. Angela Jordan is here. Good morning, Angela, and all the other folks who are joining us. I hope you all got up. Lots of you said your prayers, your devotion. I was getting ready to start. My wife came in. She said, "Let's pray." Sorry. She said, "Let's pray." She went, "I pray." Now, if you come, let's be fair. You come and say, "Let us pray." I'm expecting it's like you come and say, "Let's go to lunch." You want I pay? But it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. We happen to be happy with with us. You all pray this morning. You had a little hot thing in your stomach, a little hot here, so a little porridge. We're about to start the day. We wish you guys well. We wish you guys well today. Wish you all well. Thanks to the spouse who might be next to you who has endured us. Some of them can't take we, but we know they can't take we in love. And that's how they express it. They love us. They care about us. The American ambassador, good morning to all of you who are joining us. The American ambassador, Nicole Terrio, she's weighed in recently on the Mohammeds and this indictment matter that is whirling its way through the legal system locally. And if you weren't sure before, I don't think the American ambassador could get any more frank. I don't think she could get any more frank. She said, "Be serious." And this was adjacent to what was happening yesterday in the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where that matter continued. The American ambassador said, "We're serious." Remember she said, "We're serious." Yeah. She said, "We're doing all that we can." And as I said to you last night, part of what stood out to me in this whole exercise is when the American ambassador said, "We don't play with taxpayers' money. We ain't got this money to waste. And we the here, with fancy gallop. Serious." And so, perhaps it's a matter of when and not if. It's a matter of when and not if. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. A day is like 5 years in politics. So much could transpire. So much could transpire. And the U.S. Have done business with a lot of sanctioned people in the past whose fortunes turned and we got into high public office, and then U.S. said, "We got to deal with you differently now." And that may be in the contemplation and calculation of the Mohammeds, but I'm happy I woke up being me this morning, and I don't have their travails. Some people want the billions minus the problems. I said, "Lord, give me the billions, the Ferrari, the this, the that." I woke up this morning. As far as I know, I had a police matter pending, a court matter. I'm in good health. I ain't got to walk and look over my shoulder only at these political jacobats. Don't envy people. Don't envy people. Please. So the American ambassador signaled she's serious. Extremely, very serious about these issues. Of course, in October of last year, these indictments occurred in the U.S. Southern District of Florida. In the court there, and the father-son were indicted for money laundering, tax evasion, wire fraud, and they're telling us as well, misconduct linked to gold exports. May God be with them. May God be with them. May God be with them. I can imagine that in this dispensation that we're in, a lot of prayers, Marlon, Angela, Isabella, Yanet, Reggie, a lot of prayers must be going up. You know, this is Ramadan, and it coincides also with Lent. A period of sacrifice. People put away certain things. You're drinking, you stop drinking. You're gambling, you stop gambling. Marlon said there's a little static. It's a little static. I don't. Jesus have mercy. Anybody else getting that? Marlon says a little. Thank you, Marlon. At least one operator on duty. Marlon says a little static. I honestly, we don't know what's been causing that. You know, yesterday morning we swapped out the mics, and I have that new mic, but I don't know. I see somebody just say yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You don't talk to us in sentences. Yes, a hearing static. I don't know what is causing that. Right. But we can take a quick break and come back. But this is the lawyer for the Muhammad, right? Mr. Dujan, attorney at law Dujan, putting yesterday's matter into perspective, talking about the elder Muhammad's health, and a fast one apparently, right? A fast one apparently, right? That the PVP were trying to pull in the court yesterday. So let's take that, and I try to fix this audio problem in between, and then we come back. In that order. Take a look,
I don't want to speak too much about his medical condition. That is private information, but he is still not out of the woods completely, and he requires some further days to rest.
The other thing is, we heard also a proposal being made for there to be paper committal at this stage of the proceedings. And you've objected. Could you just summarize why you objected?
A proposal is a kind way to put it. What they started on the last occasion was an attempt to pivot these proceedings, change the course of these proceedings from what they currently are, which is oral evidence being spoken. They're asking the magistrate not to take any further oral evidence, but just to admit all of the documents and decide whether or not to extradite the defendants without any question being asked from a single witness. This is indisputable evidence that the prosecution is scattered now. They are trying to abort our efforts at cross-examination. They are trying to cancel the cross-examination process because they see where it is going, they see what we are unearthing, what is being revealed, and they probably well know what will be revealed soon. And so they're asking the magistrate to stop taking oral evidence and only permit the papers to go into evidence and to make a decision on the papers. And their legal underpinning for this request is flawed, it is misconceived, and it would be an error of law for the magistrate to allow that to occur.
You spoke specifically to the fugitive offenders and what it requires with respect to a preliminary inquiry.
Yes. The Fugitive Offenders Act, which is the act that sets out how the extradition process ought to unfold in minuscule detail. It sets out that there ought to be a preliminary inquiry. This is a term of art. A PI is a common law process developed hundreds of years ago. And there must be cross-examination. There must be what you call viva voce or oral evidence under the preliminary inquiry process. The Act also stipulates how evidence is to be received, how the orders are to be made, and so forth. So it's a specific act that governs this very specific, unique process.
Viva voce. Viva voce. Oral arguments. Welcome back, folks. Bring you up to speed with some of what's been occurring with this extradition case concerning the Mohammeds. I don't know if we got it right, but you guys can tell us. Are you hearing us any clearer? I hate that I listened back to the program a couple of mornings ago, and I was in agreement with y'all that the audio was, my Lord, something was happening with it. Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. If you're now joining us, the American ambassador said they're very serious about this sexual issue matter. They don't intend to waste taxpayers' money. They intend to see this matter through, finding its way through the court system, and let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. We can keep our eyes on that. I did tell you it's Lent. It's Lent, and a lot of folks are giving up. They try to, in this period, they try to live closer to God. They try to live closer to Father. Some people go back to the dirty ways afterwards. But people try to live closer to the Father. And then you got Ramadan too. Sacrifice. You give up something to draw closer to God. You give up something. What are you all giving up? You all giving up anything? Maybe some bad ways. Right? Maybe some bad ways. Yesterday morning, interestingly, I saw the Minister of Tourism, Suzanne Rodriguez, who at one time said she came from poor beginnings, and another time she born with money and so on. I saw Minister Suzanne Rodriguez and her wife receiving ash at the Brigham Cathedral, no doubt wanting to draw closer to God, right? But I was very curious. I didn't see I saw Chronicle carry the photographs. I didn't see Chronicle state that this was a minister. I don't know if that was an oversight. You have a photograph with a minister, and you say parishioners or something like that, churchgoers receiving Ash Wednesday blessings at the Brigham Cathedral. It's nice to see that ministers and their spouses, they have a religious side too. It's nice to see ministers and their spouses, period. You could go 10, 15 years, you got a lifetime. I don't know. A vice president got kids and so on. Got a wife and kids and so on. You go a whole lifetime. And then one day, boom. It's just nice to know. Ministers got spouses. I got a spouse. I didn't realize I talk so much about this girl from 28 and tell people, the girl from Yeovil, really, she born at 28, but she claimed she's from 20, but lived her whole life at Yeovil. She's from Yeovil, right? But people often say, you talk so much about your wife and so on. Well, I know what you want to talk about a side chick. The Spanish, I was instructed to say I'm happily married. You're supposed to instruct you. So I'm so happy to see parishioners out. And like often when you see photographs out there, I have friends who go to Brigham Cathedral as well. Beautiful. I love visiting Brigham Cathedral. Beautiful cathedral. And so I was looking to see if they went too. I mean, I fasted that. I fasted. I say, look in to see. It's been this one there. And that's how I ended up spotting the Minister Suzanne Rodriguez and her wife in the congregation. I hope you all get a little Ash Wednesday blessing and so on. Right? I hope you all got your little Ash Wednesday blessing. Chinsing Henry, Erwin Don, I hope you all get a little blessing. Goodyear and Claudia, this is the season. And it's nice. And that graphic I saw on my own Facebook page. I gotta give my blessing too. I saw so many of you commenting. I love some of y'all so religious. Y'all staunch religious people, man. Staunch religious people. Yeah. But so good to see so many of you. So whether you're observing Lent or you're observing a beautiful religious period like Ramadan, We wish you guys all the best. Hold steadfast to the convictions of your faith. Hold steadfast to it. Right? And I'm certain you got a lot of you who watch you guys. You not only believe in God, as we say in the Christian tradition, that you've proven him and he's come through for you time and time again. You've proven him. Hold fast to that. We talked about this religious period that we're in as we begin this new year, February 19th. And we talked a little bit about keeping up with the Mohammeds and what's happening on their front. We got some other things happening too. We really need Father for some of the other things that are happening. Right? You see this ICJ matter? I just saw somebody say, bring back Granger or something like that in the comments. Bring back Granger. Right? Before I come off of the spouses, I hope you all don't hide your spouses, Auntie Sandra, Joy Phillips. I hope some of y'all don't. I often wonder why ministers don't feature the spouse. I mean, yeah, but get them out there all the time and expose your kids and so on. But that being said, it was the Granger government that brought our territorial controversy before the International Court of Justice. And it doesn't often get the recognition for that. I mean, them boys been through 5 years. They never one day say thanks. I mean, what would that do to you? Friends, wouldn't you enjoy that kind of politics? Where one government could look at another one and say, you did well here. You might not have done 99% of the things right, but at least you get something right. And that is why, if you don't have an internal compass, Chin Sing and Andrew and Dali, to set and chart your own course, to motivate yourself, if you wait for that externally, you wait a very long time. And it's a good thing we got our own historians and sociologists and all of that, right? Joy, our condolences to you. You're in our thoughts. Don't know how recent, how long, but nevertheless, you're in our thoughts. But the Granger government did bring this matter before the ICJ. And I see that often, even in the folks, Joy, Andrew, Dali, who comment the commentariat, according to Kemraj Ramjatan, the commentariat, they keep asking about this missing $18 million. Well, go back to the World Court. And when you see all them lawyers representing Guyana, you're going to know the money there. Strategically, President Granger took that matter before the ICJ. And in many ways, that singular move has kept Venezuela at bay. There are a number of times the court had to issue different orders to restrain and to restrict what Venezuela was trying to do. Do you remember the referendum? The people said they got a governor for Essequibo right now. This is the level of madness. And while we took this matter with the $18 million before the ICJ, hiring top-of-the-line attorneys, we saw President Irfan Ali. He was giving Maduro cake and gold bracelet and ring and rum and all kinds of things. Granger didn't want to make friends with tyrants. He said let the court deal with the matter. And he took the matter before the ICJ. And so it has to be some very special people who know what the truth is what the signing bonus was used to do, and then they come sowing malicious, propagandistic seeds over the 80 million there. Where the 80 million there? It's the same nonsense they try coming around with Chronicle. You see what's happening to Starbuck News? You see what's happening to Starbuck News? I can tell the full story one day. Right? Journalism was one of my majors at university. And when I got into Chronicle, we realized where the market is. We realized where the market is. And I spoke to the management at Chronicle. Papers are shutting down every day. People still consume the news, but they consume the news differently. And so we either integrate or we perish. And a decision was made. We have to start transitioning to digital media. Now, I wish to God we could do it for free. And to God, it's going to take any company more than $5 million to do it. But we had to start. You see what was happening right in the region. We ain't got to go far with print media. And if you want to survive, not even to thrive, to survive, you got to make the leap from print to digital. Well, physical print, that is, to digital media. You see, the writing was written on the wall a long time. A long time ago. But people don't like make hard decisions. Right? Per day, I don't think 2,000 newspapers are sold in this country. Per day. That is why government advertising is so important. To keep papers going. So when a government owes $100 million to a news entity, they feel that. But on social media, Sharon and Mark and Sandra, Deborah, you could get one story. They get 100,000 views. A newspaper getting that kind of sales, 100,000 papers. Back in the days when paper was king. Newspaper used to sell more than 100,000 a day. Print copies. But now in the age of social media, by the time the paper print in the morning, you don't know inside because you consume all the news and social media already. And so people aren't buying old news, per se. It's only faithful like me. I subscribe to Starbuck News quarterly. Every 3 months, about $13,000. I subscribe because I understand the importance of fair and balanced journalism. I subscribe. And we piggyback on some of their work too. So that is my own way of giving back to them. And I could just read what I want to read on the internet, but I subscribe $13,000 every 3 months to the digital paper, the e-paper. You see? But it's going to cost. It's going to cost us something. How longer does Kaijur News got? How longer does Chronicle got? Chronicle might be in a different spot because Chronicle can be subsidized by the government. But if it is managed as a business, it has to pay for itself. How longer? The highest circulation for papers in this country is Sundays. It's Sundays. And Starbuck News had the highest of the circulation at that point between Starbuck News and Kaijur News. And this is about 3,000, 4,000 papers. 4,000 people buying a single paper. And as technology develops and proliferates, it's going to get even worse. So that is the age in which we're in, the social media age. And these formats as we know them might even change. But we have to adapt. We have to adapt. And part of my own thinking back then was a similar format to this. While we have the written paper, we must have a very strong social media component that pushes that. And companies that can integrate, they perish. But I'm thankful for the work Starbucks News has done over time. I'm thankful to it. Right? We still got a long way to go. There's a lot that we can do. But you see, the funding is not there. As I said to y'all, I fed up begging now. I fed up. I ain't doing it. I fed up begging. If people want to make the contribution, we got the facilities that you can do it from anywhere in the world. But I ain't going to be out here begging. Right? I don't feel this is the year for that. Maybe next year. So I'm happy that this matters before the World Court. These matters cost something. You don't go before the World Court for free. And if you are to hire attorneys that know how to litigate these matters before that high forum, then it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost us something. Right? It's going to cost us something. So we're hearing that matter was somebody trying to call me. Yeah, we're hearing that this matter was brought before the ICJ, right? This is the matter concerning that border controversy, and we have to see where it goes, right? We have to see where it goes. We're told that Ghana has marked the 60th anniversary of the 1966 Geneva Convention. The 60th anniversary of that convention, And I can tell you, even that didn't happen for free. Even that did not happen for free. Right? For people to draft these high-level documents, it costs. It costs something. It costs something. And this Geneva Agreement, it provides the framework for resolving the border controversy with Venezuela. Right? And we saw the Foreign Affairs quite recently has reiterated that the 1899 Arbitral Award, legally as we know, established the boundary between Guyana and Venezuela, and it remains valid up until now. And I fear that the government doesn't push. The government don't push this kind of information nearly enough so that our kids grow up knowing the history behind this border controversy, right? And are able to articulate it clearly themselves for future generation. Right? Guyana, of course, as you know, before the ICJ, we're continuing to pursue a final and binding ruling before the International Court of Justice on this matter. Right? But that singular decision of the Granger administration has brought us to this point and has kept us steady on the international stage before the World Court, resolute on this matter. Right? So don't let me talk half and left half. And while all of that is happening too, we got other matters developing at home. On this front, on the local front, we saw ExxonMobil saying that they're ready to develop gas, accelerate gas with the speed at which Guyana wants to go. Well, at the amount of times we falter in here now, this gas production aspect has been set back so many times. I don't know if that's the speed Exxon want to go by. Maybe that's the speed. I don't know. But this is some of what came out of the energy conference that's happening. Right? This part of what came out of the energy conference. Right? The company says it's prepared to accelerate development of Ghana's natural gas resource and to move forward in step with the government. You know, I want all of that. I want all of that. But our Guyanese brothers and sisters must live differently. And in 50 years from now, we still grappling with the same issues we're grappling with now. Folks, we got to apologize to the next generation. Right now, there's so much more that we could do. But there's no political will, because once a little cabal gets the hug of the money and siphon it off for their own purposes, not to improve the lives of Guyanese, and all is well and good. And all of that is what we got to guard against. You see, all of that is what we got to guard against and stay on the forefront of pushing back against that. Right? Pushing back against that. We got to get true equality. Not some making it and then some others locked out. The rising tide must float all boats. Not just some boats, all boats must float, you see. And before we go, we just at the 10 o'clock mark, before we go, I see Region 9 opening up for tourism. I see Region 9 saying that they are, government says they're signing some agreements, MOU for Region 9's tourism bodies rather. This is the IROCRAMA, International Center for Rainforest Conservation and Development. You got the Guyana Tourism Authority. They've signed a memorandum of understanding to expand tourism development in the North Rupununi. I said that to say, we got to see this country board. You got a long holiday weekend. So many, I see a lot of tourism packages you could benefit from. See the rest of the world, but see little your country too. That's why I want to encourage y'all. Some people never went to Linden, never been to Bobis, never been to Bartica. See a little bit of your own country. Right? I'm certain they got enough tourism operators to get you from point A to point B at a reasonable price. I haven't been to the Kaicho Falls as yet, and that's one of the places I gotta see. And some more of the other falls in this country. Guyana is immensely beautiful once we can get out of the national capital city, get out of Region 4. Guyana's not Region 4, thank God. It's more than that. Lots more than that. And I was eager when I saw this collaboration happening. Right? And I hope that we can bring down, with the right policies, the cost of internal travel. Right? I see some airlines giving a discount on airstrips that the government have renovated. Right? Now it's not no problem. No fault to the people who live in that region, whichever region it is, that they may got a bad airstrip, but they got a higher cost than an airstrip that is relatively new. The cost for internal travel is still too expensive. I was looking at Kaichor, right? 100,000 person, if not a little more than that, for kaichur. Right? Still, that is what? The whole minimum wage for somebody. Whole minimum wage for somebody. And you just fly in your own country. We gotta work to bring that down. Because that itself, cost itself, is going to be a barrier. You know, I also saw, and I'm raising all this because we're heading into this 3-day weekend. A couple of the local hotels in the city saying that they have reduced their costs for locals, right? $200 US and under per night. And I saw some folks saying that you could get 4- and 5-star hotels for under $200 US, especially off-peak season. Internationally, you could get 4- and 5-star hotels for under $200 US. 40,000 Ghana dollars. It's a lot of money for an average family. Still, you know, it's a lot of money for an average family. So even the cost for natives to stay in these hotels that are being built. I saw the Four Seasons, Sheraton, and AC Marriott and everything. I like a night or two just to relax, you know. A long weekend, you go and you get pampered, you know, carry the family and so on. But at them prices, you know, we got to bring down local travel and the cost of accommodation locally. We got to do that. We got to do that. There's where we're going to leave it, folks. Good to have you on the live. International lawyer Selvin Peters is on. He said I need to visit Kaichur Falls and Arunduk and Imataka mountains and Erakram. Yeah. Beautiful places. Beautiful places. We going, Selvin. We going. You know, all the other folks joining us. Great to see you guys on the live this morning. Before you go, guys, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button too. And Selvin saying Best Western and Aiden by Best Western, and all the others. They're alleged that's the First Lady Hotel. You know, her son name is Aiden. That's the word on the ground. That's the allegation on the ground. That's the First Lady Hotel, Aiden by Best Western. That's another story, right? Selvin, Naomi talking to you there in the comments. Leonard Finance, Jacqueline, Everell, Veronica, Audrey. Good to have all of you guys. Penelope, Grace. Have a fantastic day. We're going to leave it there for now, folks. That's going to do it for us at this end. That is going to do it for us at this end. That's our time, good folks. And that's our program this morning. You all have a safe, and as you're wishing for me, have a productive day as well. Thank you guys so much. Right? Thank you, Diane, Grave Sandy, Orvin Dot, Precious Queen. Dolly is here as well. Beverly Fraser. We see you, Beverly. Thanks for joining us. Yep. Good to have you folks on with us. Bernice, that's good to see you as well. Janice is on with us too. I'm so grateful for the hundreds of you that tune in. And we know that, you know, more people watch us from overseas, apparently. You know, so we're thankful for you. You know, thanks to you all and Selvin and so on joining us, Naomi and so on. We can say we're an international program. I mean, how many folks can say that? As I said, before you guys go, share the broadcast for us. Smash that emoji. But those of you coming back to watch us as well, you guys do the same. We love all of you. Sonia Massive Cup. We love back to you. Joy Phillips and Claire Alexis, Charmley Richmond, and all the other folks. Stay safe. That's our time. That's our brother.